Okay, hey guys, this is SoupaSoka. Today we're going to play some Hearthstone. Here's the arena mode we're going to play. And I've already drafted a deck. I've actually already played 7 games, as you can see in the middle here. I won 6 of those 7. The deck it's a Shaman deck, and it's actually a pretty fun deck to play. You can go through it here. You can see there's a few weak things, like Hungry Crab is a pretty weak pick. I'm hoping for either a lucky play where someone else drops a Murloc and I will get a free kill and a buffed crab, or I can always eat my bluegill after I run it in with a charge and hit someone and then buff up my crab early on. So that could be some possible synergy there, we'll see. There's plenty of card draw. I've got a Novice Engineer, a Gnomish Inventor, and 2 Gadgets on Auctioneers, which are pretty good because I have, well, not that many spells. Lightning Bolt, Earth Shock, Hex, and I think that might be it. But 3 spells, 2 Auctioneers, I should be able to get 1 or 2 cards drawn off them throughout the course of a match or 2. 2 Flame Tongues alike. And the actual, maybe the bread and butter of this deck are the Fire Elementals, all 5 of them, which if you've ever played Hearthstone and you've ever played Shaman, you'll know that Fire Elementals are kind of ridiculous for Arena. So I'm actually pretty excited for this deck. I've had a lot of fun playing it. There's a little, I feel a little evil pulling out 4 or 5 turns in a row of Fire Elementals, which I did in one of these games. But it's well, it's too bad for them. It's good for me. The only problem otherwise is that this deck has kind of a weak curve. 1, 2, and 3 is pretty good, you can see, but 4 and 5, I only have 2 5s, which are the Auctioneers, which stand alone are not very good by themselves, and the 4s are pretty weak also. I have a Wind Speaker, who's okay if I have something else on the field, and the Gnomish Inventor, which is great for cycling, but on its own is very weak. So I have sort of a lull in my curve between 4 and 5, so I basically have to pray that my 3s, which are quite a few 3s, can hold me over through turns 4 and 5, at which point I can pull out the Argent Commander and pull out the Fire Elementals and hopefully close out the game. So anyway, let's get this started. Okay, so we're fighting Mr. Right, and I actually like this opening hand. The Thrallmar Farseer is kind of weak, and I have lots of 3s, so I could probably get something better. But I think we'll stick with it. I like the Worgen Infiltrator to start because I'll play him, then if he plays a 2-3, thinking it'll survive, I'll throw down the Totem and kill his 2-3, which is nice. And also the Worgen can sit around in stealth if I need him to be hanging out. Let's see, okay, coin, 2-3 maybe? Okay, so this is probably one of the worst possible scenarios. I am considering here, if I play the Totem, there's really no point in playing the Totem. It would just buff this up, which would still die and kill something anyway. I could play the Bomber, but it's pretty risky with my Worgen out there. The odds are in my favor here, but if I shoot myself twice and the Worgen once, it's terrible. And the Bluegill, I could trade, but I'd still be doing a 2-for-1 trade. I actually think my best option here is to Totem. And okay, I was hoping for the 1-1 or even the Taunt Totem. And now I think I will
first kill.
Trade. And what we'll do next turn is I can Flame Tongue to use that Healing Totem to kill the last Murloc. Alternatively, I can Mad Bomber. I think we want to... I think I'll play the Thrallmar. This will be able to wipe out both of them, and then at the end of the turn he'll be healed up, unless he has something to kill it, which he might have a Lightning Bolt, which is okay. If he wants to use a Lightning Bolt on a Thrallmar or Farseer, then I'm pretty cool with that. Okay, so he's gonna buff up his Taunt Totem and kill my... Oh, never mind, he's buffing up himself, that's probably better. Ah, yes. The ever so crafty Hungry Crab buffed Murloc killing play. No one ever sees this one coming. I think we are going to have some fun here, guys. Let's do this. to throw in a taunt here. And now let's do one of these, and kill that, and okay. So he could Lightning Storm here, which would kill my healing totem, and would definitely kill my Flame Tongue if he hits it with the 1/1, if the lightning doesn't kill it on its own. I got him to use a Lightning Bolt on my crab, which is pretty great. So now I have to find a way to kill his organ. I think Bluegill, run it into it, would kill it, and then healing totem to the face, and then drop another totem. Seems reasonable. Really, it's hard to complain about dropping using a 2 to kill a 3-cost creature. And totem, and hit him. And there we go. Next turn, Argent Commander will take out probably anything he has. Although again, he could just Lightning Storm.
Pass me that arc light spanner.
Okay, I will probably run the Argent Commander into that, which actually I don't like that. I think I will instead run both my totems into him. I think I would rather yes, let's do that. So totem, Gnomish Inventor, and totem. So this way we kept the Argent Commander alive. We trade it without losing the shield is what I was worried about, because there's a lot of ways to kill a 2-health Argent Commander once the shield is down, especially for a Shaman. Okay. So he wants to play the Fire Elemental game. We will
Give me a minute.
hit the Shaman, Hex the Fire Elemental, throw down a Mad Bomber. Let's go for a Frog kill. Whatever. Drop a totem, and a turn. Okay, I was also hoping for healing totem, that's okay. I would like to... He definitely has, let's see, I have 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he definitely has card advantage now, for sure. Try getting the totem first, unless I have a 4 drop, or at least a 3 drop. Because I have 3 cards to his 5 plus his frog, and our life total is fairly similar. Okay, Fire Elemental number 1. Let's put him to use. I don't know exactly what I want to shoot, but I think we can take this down to the best option. And that way it won't keep spawning out too many imps. He's in for some trouble, as I have 18 cards left and 4 of them are Fire Elementals, so it's maybe a 1 in, I don't know, 22% chance of getting Fire Elemental. There's Frog is dead. And Lightning Bolt. Fair enough. I will run the Argent Commander into his Wharf, I'm pretty sure. I think I want the Flesh-Eating Mule. So unless he has a way to, like a Fork to Lightning, it would be pretty good for him here. Unless he's a Fork to Lightning, I guess he could have Fork to Lightning, or a Rock Biter, or even a Lightning Storm. But if he doesn't have any of those, okay, Feral Spirit's fine. Let's see. I wish I had a Lightning Storm right about now. Especially, actually I wish I had my Hex back right about now. Let's drop a totem, see what happens. That's probably the worst totem I could have gotten here. I will Wind Speaker this, I think. And I'll hit. I think I just want to hit one of these, and now he has no way to get through this unless he has something in his hand, which he probably does. But if not, now I will be able to use the ghoul to take out his sea giant. I'm guessing he wants a spell damage totem here. No. Hey, I guess there's this plan too. I didn't think about that. That's okay. Now he's going to draw a fire elemental, and we will be. Oh, there goes that. He certainly is making this rougher for me than I would like. Okay, some card cycles, always nice. Let's see, if I play Questing Adventurer, then play Novice, then make it a 3/3, it would survive the Abomination, but if I draw a Fire Elemental, I wouldn't really use it here. So let's not do that. Fire Elemental, okay. Let's, I would like to clear that out. So let's just do it. Hoping for a taunt. Heal totem is okay, I guess. We will trade and then play some other things. Unless he gets a taunt totem.
For Najata.
Pretty solid play there. So it's a little bit rough for us right now. We're basically in top deck mode, and I don't think I have any great AoE.
Give me a quest.
We are gonna throw down everything we got and do a little bit of finger crossing. He can take out the Scarlet with his Boar and his Searing Totem, unfortunately. Then he can drop my Searing Totem with his 2/3, then my 3/3 with his 4/5. So we should be able to make good trades here. Which it looks like I pretty much did. And, okay. On the bright side, my army of fire elementals are still ready to go out. I've got, let's see, I must have 2 more, 3 more, I don't remember anymore. But, as long as those keep coming, I can keep knocking out his guys. So, I'm not quite sure why he did that instead of trading the 2/3, but it's reasonable. He's really going for a very controlled board through here, which is smart of him to do so. Taunt Totem's nice here, and the Harvest Golem will take a few hits at least. The game is not over, folks, but it is somewhat dire, especially now. I can only hope that he is down to a lot of low mana cost cards and creatures, whereas I have at least a couple big guys left, and I know I have 2 options left, which are probably coming up any minute now, and an Earth Shock, which does next to nothing for me, which I'll hold on to in case he drops something more scary.
Attend me.
Ready, sir.
I think he has lethal on me next turn. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So pretty much I have to get a taunt totem here to live another turn. I might as well shoot that and do that, and we'll see. I usually like to let people play out their turn, even if they have lethal on the board and it's obvious. I like to give them a minute. If they start messing around with too many fancy things, then a lot of times I'll concede. But otherwise, I know I like to have the fun of getting the victory kill, so I like to leave it up to them too to get their hits in. Okay, well, we will move along now. We'll drop the 6 here for the starting hand. Worgen is good. Not quite as good against a druid, but I can just sit tight and use it against one of his minions. Harvest Golem's always good, and Flame Tongue, I like Flame Tongue as an opener, especially with something like a Worgen Infiltrator, because like I said last game,
My greeting.
the 2-1 becomes suddenly a 4-1, which can take out pretty much any minion under 3 cost. Let's start with the Worgen, and we will wait and see. My guess is he hero powers up and hits me in the face, but he might play a minion of some sort.
I can taste the mana.
So now we have the choice of... I think I prefer to use the Harvest Golem now, and then we can let him decide what he wants to do. He may Wrath the Harvest Golem for 3 and then trade the Mana Addict into it, into the Damage Golem, which would be a reasonable play.
For the crusade!
What to do?
So we should not do that. And I'm thinking of trading the Harvest Golem for the Worgen Infiltrator into the Mana Addict. Otherwise I'm concerned he'll cast a spell, give this +2, and wipe out one of my Harvest Golems. So I think we should make this trade. It basically 1-1 for 1-1 and 1 damage to my Harvest Golem, which is not a big deal. Now he could take the Scarlet Crusader and wipe out one of my Harvest Golems, and then hero power to take out the damaged Golem, but then my Harvest Golem would kill his Scarlet Crusader. So he now has a big buff, nasty Scarlet Crusader, which I am going to kill with my Flame Tongue. Yes. So let's do this. I like this play. Apparently I miscalculated, so that was a major fail. That's okay. That big game Hunter, by the way, in my hand, I'm expecting this to be useful anywhere from probably turn 8 would be where I'd expect it. So I am looking forward to the opportunity of sniping one of his big guys. Okay, let's draw a card. Hit him in the face for 1, and let him go. So, Mark of the Wild, by the way, I feel like is one of the most terrible cards around. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it just seems like a very bad card, because you're basically doubling up on one minion, so that minion gets silenced, especially in this case the Harvest Golem. If I silenced it suddenly, he loses the Death Rattle, and he loses that card entirely. So it seems weak to me. We will go ahead and do this, because it takes out the 4-3 and replaces it with 2-1, gets rid of the taunt, and leaves us with a big 6-5. And I don't mind using Fire Elementals frequently, because we have 19 cards left, and 4 of them are Fire Elementals. Okay, so now we have 5-10, so I would like... Okay, another Fire Elemental. We're gonna do it this way. We're gonna go a little crazy here. Let's see what we can do. This is definitely a stupid play, but yeah, that was a pretty terrible play. That's okay.
My time.
Next turn I will be able to shoot that. Great. The Taunt Totem is probably the best thing we could have hoped for there. Now what will happen is his 2-1 will kill the Taunt, his hero power will kill the Flame Tongue, and his 5-2 maybe he'll hit me in the face. Unless he has a card, by the way, he could play Swipe. What is it? Starfall. Okay, Wrath would be good here. It would seem to me it's unlikely he's going to get that 5-2 out of there without it dying, but it's possible.
I smell blood.
And now his 5-2 is going to die because of my Fire Elemental. And taunt totems, again, pretty nice here. And every time we play a fire elemental this game, we are going to taunt him, because he seems to like to taunt us. So we have a definite card advantage. We have 4 in our hand, 1 on the board, and 1 more being drawn, so it's 6 to his 5. We have probably a better board, and he has a small life advantage.
Where shall I strike?
He's going to trade 2 for 1, that's okay. Next turn, my Argent Commander will go to 4, which is pretty perfect. And I will drop down the Acolyte, most likely, depending on what I draw. Okay, Argent Commander, Acolyte, pretty good stuff. So we've got 6 to his 3, so he's slowly losing the card advantage war. If he plays any big cards now, especially Iron Bark, then that 8/8 will be instantly killed by my big game Hunter, which is always fun. Like, this is amazing. One of my favorite plays in the game. And I get the feeling now that he is stalling. Okay. So, 8/8 is about to get annihilated, and
I've got the beast
feels
in my
great.
sight.
That's like the top play ever in this game. I think we might as well play Gadgets on and Totem. I like to start getting totems out every turn, and spending the 3 damage on the space is kind of a waste. Okay, so now he's got another big 8/8. So the best option here might be to Fire Elemental him for 3. That leaves him at 5. Then trade the big game Hunter. So that would leave him at 1, and then probably the Totem. That would leave me with a 6/5, a 4/2, a 4/4, and a 1/3, which isn't too bad. Now I'm definitely using Acolyte to kill that. And I think I will 3,
Gotcha.
4, 1, punch him. Let's see what draw. Another Gadgets on. I kind of like the idea of giving this
My
Wind
thanks
Fury.
to you.
Let's do another totem. I'd like to get a healing totem. I probably should have cast the totem before the 1/1 totem died, but I wanted to see what the Acolyte would draw for us. Right now, if he swipes, he could take out my Gadgets on, the Acolyte, and the Searing Totem. Okay, so he Starfire, that's fine.
Summoning portal
Got
open.
more Fire Elementals where that came from. I would guess he would kill the Searing Totem to avoid giving me a card right now, but it's possible to avoid this getting healed up, he would hit it now. Okay. We will throw out another Fire Elemental, and let's see, he's 17, so he'll be at, hit him for 9, so he'll be at 8, then let's do this, and I'm gonna make this one Wind Fury, so he will, if he pulls a swipe, he will choose to hit the Argent Commander instead of, if I put on the 4/4 Gadgets on, he would kill that. I could put it on the Fire Elemental, but then same thing, if he kills it before I get to use it, it's no point. I'd rather make this a more promising target, so that way the Gadgets on live instead of him hitting this and killing a 4/4. But it looks like this is about game over for him. I can't imagine anything he could do. Even if he drops an 8/8 taunt, I can kill it with these 2 and finish him off.
Well played. Well
I got so
played.
used to threatening this guy, I forgot what the well played button was. So anyway,
Drink with me, friend.
he's now just wasting our time, which is fine. Whatever. Will he hit the Acolyte? No, he'll Sudoku. Supoku.
Well played.
He'll kill himself. I think I watched too many French streams. That's made me forget the actual word. Fighting Kirito. Kirito. Fire Elemental, never. Flame Tongue, I don't really have enough to play with right now, so we get rid of that. The Harvest Golem's okay, especially we have a coin. We'll get it out a little bit faster. This is definitely better. I think we will, depending on what he plays, coin Mad Bomber the first turn. I still like this play the best.
Greetings, friend.
Next turn we basically have a choice of a Totem or a Novice Engineer, and it's probably going to be a Novice Engineer.
Mind if I roll need?
I don't really like this matchup
You
here.
like my invention? Got it.
He's basically
Job done.
trading nothing to kill my 3-2, which is annoying, and I don't really have much left out there except for a 1-1, which he could kill with his hero ability. Or he could give Divine Shield, which is seemed pointless in this situation, so I just killed with the 1-1 anyway. And then I will play my my 3-cost Harvest Golem. I guess it wasn't pointless for him to do that. He still gets a 2-2 out of it, but it wasn't really as effective use of that
Put this apple on your
protector
head.
as I would have personally liked to see. If he gets a lucky shot here with his hero totem,
Wanna
or
blow something up?
that's interesting. That would have been stupendous if he had killed his Knife Juggler with the Bomber. So we will go this route.
Power.
Kill the 2-2. We'll kill that. And now he can still trade the Bomber for the Wind Speaker, which
Follow the rules.
I'd really like to save the Auctioneer for one of my 3 spells in the deck, so I get some draw power out of it. Let's see, I pretty much have to trade the Damage Golem up for the Goblin. I don't know why I call him Goblin, whatever, Mad Bomber. The question is, do I want to play a Scarlet Crusader? If I play a Scarlet Crusader, he will use the 1-1 to break the shield. And then, if he has anything in his hand, he could kill that Scarlet Crusader, or he would trade the 3-3 for it. Let's do this, see what totem we get. Okay, we got the best totem we could have hoped for here.
Get behind
Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna kill that 3-3 next turn with the Fire Elemental, like, right now. I see what he was trying to do. He was trying to put a taunt up to protect his Peacekeeper, so now we can get free card draw. I'm not gonna let that happen, obviously, because that's ridiculous. So, let's blast that. We just killed 2 of his cards now for free. And if he trades the 5-4 for the 3-1 next turn, then we will Bluegill to kill his 5-4, or what would be a 5-1 at that point. If he trades the Bodyguard for the 6-5, that's fine, because we will follow it up with some other stuff. He might make this a 4 or like a 9-8 with Blessing of Kings, but that's still actually, if he puts Blessing of Kings on that, that would be amazing. And then he hits that in the Fire Elemental, I'll still kill with the Bluegill Warrior. We have the card advantage here. We have basically 6 cards in hand and 2 on the field. He has 5 in hand and 1 on the field. So we have 8 to his 6. We have he's a little life advantage, but I would say we have the board advantage. The problem is our cards are not magnificent in our hand. The Auctioneer is not that good without a spell. Bluegill is kind of weak on his own. Gnomish Inventor is the free card draw. Big Game Hunter is dependent on having something to snipe, which suddenly we have a snipe target, which is wonderful. And we are gonna snipe the crap out of that thing. Because there's not that many big creatures most likely for Paladin to play.
Well played.
And sniping, that's pretty nice. Now, there's really no way to save the 3-1. I guess I could have played the Questing Adventure first. It probably would have been a smart play. I can do this, I guess. Taunt Totem's nice here. I really don't want to waste that. I'd rather something like this. So now next turn we have Lethal on him because of the Fire Elemental in our hand. So he has to clear at least one of our minions on the board or heal himself or he will die. That Big Game Hunter was a huge swing here. Okay, so he can give us a crystal. So he's taking the 5/5 for the 6/5. That's reasonable. We will now. I think that's a good play. We have the same problem here that any arena deck versus a paladin has. Or even constructed paladins have this same thing. If he has equality, consecration, he's going to wipe the board. There's nothing we can do about it. I think he's dead here.
Reporting for duty.
Unless, yeah.
Well
Okay, that was pretty solid.
Throw versus
Okay,
throw.
so we're facing
the elements will
Wargarble.
destroy you.
Sounds like something a Murloc would say. He's also a Shaman. We don't really want 2 Fire Elementals in our opening hand, and we don't have very many spells, so I prefer to save the Earth Shock for later. I mean, it's actually a very good card early on, depending on if you see a Scarlet Crusader. Okay, this is where having 5 Fire Elementals is really painful. We're gonna have to, and there's so that means we have 6 6-drop cards. 5 of them are Fire Elementals, 1's an Argent Commander, and I've drawn half of them. So we've gone through most of our late game cards already. I normally would not recommend ever coining hero ability, but as a Shaman, it's a reasonable play if you have a Flame Tongue Totem in your hand, because now I have, in this case, a 0/2 Taunt. And my 0/2 Taunt will kill his 1/1. That Fire Elemental does absolutely nothing for us, which is very painful. He could Forked Lightning here, which is fine. If he does, he's trading, well actually, Forked Lightning wouldn't do anything, it only does 2 damage. So now we have 3 of the Fire Elementals in our hand. The goal right now, for the rest of this game, is to make it to turn 6. Once turn 6 happens, we can win the game. Until turn 6 happens, we are basically stalling. And so there he just cast a Forked Lightning and killed the totem, so that's card advantage for us. That's nice. Unless he has another Forked Lightning or an Earth Shock or something, he's going to blast on that Flame Tongue. He was seemingly wasting his mana. Okay. So he does have that. He's a tricksy fool. So we will hit that, and I don't really love this, but we will play the Acolyte. So I don't know, maybe he has a lot of late game cards also. It seems like he's not, I mean, he's only played really Flame Tongue Totem, and he's cast like 2 totems or 3 totems or whatever. So it seems like he must be also stalling with 3 Fire Elementals in his hand.
Your magic shall not save you.
Totem. Whack this, whack this. Save the rest of our mana. We can Earth Shock the totem if needed. I don't like wasting that card on that. We don't have very many spells, as I mentioned. What I'm looking for now is... I see what's going on here. Okay, we are not going to Fire Elemental. We are going to Argent Commander. And trade around a little bit. His Fire Elemental was not wasted, but he only took out a damage golem, so I'm not super concerned with that. Let's see if he has another... Oh, okay. That's interesting. So now... So he played a Fire Elemental. I countered it with my Argent Commander. He countered my Argent Commander with his Argent Commander. Now I'm going to counter his Argent Commander with my Fire Elemental. And then... Hungry Crab. Because I can. So now, if he wants to keep this up, he will play either a Fire Elemental or an Argent Commander. Argent Commander would kill my Argent Commander. So this is the time where I would love to have a big game hunter. So let's pray. Not a big game hunter, okay. So that's easy enough. We will hex it, kill it with the frog. Not the frog. Kill the frog with the crab. And then, just finish this up. I really don't care if the crab dies, or do I care? Do I want to... I don't care. And then we will play this. That's fine. And then we will throw down a... Let's see, next turn we can do Tauren Warrior plus Fire Elemental. So this turn, let's Totem. So cards, he has 6 in his hand, I have 4 in my hand, 2 in the field, and I'll draw 1 more. So I have 1 card advantage to him, 1 life advantage to him, and I have a 6/5 and a 3/2 on the field above what he has on the field. So...
Squire, attend me.
Okay, so
Ready,
now...
sir.
Let's
What?
let's do this. And I'm gonna hope for a healing totem actually. Okay, that's great. That at least keeps it out of Earth Shock range. And another turn, and then I'll put it out of 50% chance of from Lightning Storm, and another turn we'll put it out of Lightning Storm range. Unless he gets a spell damage totem. Okay, so he has a 7/8 out there and a 3/1, which I will Earth Shock the crap out of that. So let's see, how do we want to do this? The best way to do this would be to put the Flame Tongue down between the Bomber and the 6/2. Then that would be an 8/2, which would kill his 7/8. Okay, kill that. Boom! Okay, let's kill that. Is that worth it? Is that what we want to do? Or do we want to play this, kill that, and then Earth Shock? Yeah, that's what we want to do. So now we want to play this to shoot that. Earth Shock that fool. Hit him for 5. Hit him for 6. Next turn, we got lethal like crazy on the board. With the Wind Speaker, he basically has to kill... He has to kill the Flame Tongue and both Fire Elementals. If he leaves the either the okay. GG.
Well played.
Argent Commander, no. Flame Tongue's no good if we have nothing to buff. Even a Totem's not great here against the Mage. If we get the 1/1, it's worthless. And Lightning Bolt... I'll hold on to Lightning Bolt. I don't think it's a bad idea, but let's do it anyway. Okay, that's a little better. So we're going to hope he plays a Murloc. we don't have a turn 2 plays totem basically right now. It's like a 1 in a million shot,
Greetings, friend.
but I'm gonna hold on to the Hungry Crab. Basically, if he plays a Murloc and I play the Hungry Crab, I just set up a great early game. If I play the Murloc and he doesn't play a Crab or doesn't do anything, then I mean, really, 1 damage wouldn't have done much to him. It's not a big deal. The spell damage is nice because now I can do 4 damage with the Lightning Bolt, which might have a play. I like to save the Lightning Bolt for the Auctioneer. I'm thinking that this Bluegill was pretty nice timing. Now the question is, do we kill his 3-2 with the Bluegill, or do we eat it and play a 3-4? I think we just kill this. Otherwise, the 3-4 would get hit by the 3-2 anyway, and then he would Hero Power and kill it. And I would have lost 2 cards instead of just the 1.
For the crusade!
Earth Shock, please. So maybe a...
Let
1-3 would be good here.
to me.
And he can kill that. I don't care. At least I'll take the totem. I'll take the shield off, and I'll get a card out of it. And I will put the Worgen Infiltrator in the middle, so he can't Cone of Cold easily here. He can still Cone of Cold, but he's not going to get everything. Although, really, if he gets a totem or not, it doesn't make a huge difference. So if we can wait 2 more turns, we can Auctioneer Lightning Bolt. We have 4, 5, 6 cards to his 8, but one of them's coins, so we have 6 to his 7. So we're starting to get the Fire Elementals. This is nice. This is a good time to start drawing them up. Let's see what he does. Play a Murloc.
Let the pain speak to me.
I would like to use the Fire Elemental to kill that 1-3, so he only gets 1 card out of it.
Just like you.
But we don't always get what we want. So I think we want to trade the 2-1 for the 3-2. That seems pretty easy. Auctioneer. So let's do a totem. Not get the 1-1. Okay. That's good. And let's, Okay. So now he could kill the 2-3 by hitting it with the Scarlet Crusader and then pinging it. Or by hitting it with the Acolyte, the damage golem with the Acolyte. If he does this trade, I'm okay with it. Okay, I'm fine with that. Now, though, he could get a free card draw off of it, which is a little annoying. There's only so much you can do to try and avoid giving up cards to the Acolyte. And I'm much happier with the Acolyte getting 2 cards than 3. So, the other thing is I could hit this for 3, but then he could do 3, 4, 5 to me. So let's do this. The concern is if I play the Fire Elemental and hit the Kodo for 3, leaving it at 2 health doesn't really do much for me. Nothing I have is going to hit it for 2. And then the Kodo for 3 could do 3 damage, Acolyte could do 1 damage, and his Fire Blast could do 1 more to kill the Fire Elemental. In this case, the only way to kill the Fire Elemental for him is to Polymorph it or Fireball it. He could freeze it and just stall.
You love my new recipe.
Okay, he could certainly swap, which is not what I would have expected, so that's okay.
For the crusade!
You got a problem.
There's something that... So now we have this situation where he may be going for some sort of like Pyroblast, blah blah blah. So let's do this.
Join or die.
So now if he Flame Strikes, he will kill 2 totems, which I'm not too worried about. the Golem will be resurrected, which he can not ping next turn, 1 of the mana, and the Scarlet Crusader would die. But the Argent Commander, which is about to hit him in the face, would live with 2 health. He could Flame Strike, hit this, use a 7/5 to kill the 4/2. That'd leave him at 1. But my 2/1 Golem would kill that, and if not, then if something gets in the way like a taunt, I will Auctioneer Lightning Bolt that, take it out, because it's a big enough threat that I don't want to let it sit around. So now we can Blizzard, if possible, actually. Making a freeze, that's fine. So is he going to hit me for... So he didn't attack. I don't want Flame Strike to fall on my face here. So we are gonna trade down. And now he will probably want to Flame Strike pretty badly. Now he could ping Flame Strike and wipe my board, which is probably what he's gonna do. Did I forget to attack with the Argent Commander? Oh no, he was frozen. So now here comes a Flame Strike. Mages are probably the most predictable class in the game. It's turn 7, Flame Strike. If there's not a Flame Strike on turn 7, then there's a Flame Strike on turn 9, because that's when they will have enough to ping you. So, Gadget's on, Hex, see what we get, Totem. Okay, so card-wise, I have 5 to his 6, so he has a little card advantage. He definitely has some life advantage. I would say I have the board advantage, but unfortunately my hand is pretty weak. I have Hungry Crab, which is worthless, Questing Adventurer, which I could drop and then buff up to 5/5 next turn pretty easily. Gnomish Inventor is fine.
I wonder.
You call that a weapon?
Oh yeah, so sorry, I got distracted here. That's a pretty effective use of the frog, certainly. At least he traded a card for that, so it wasn't just a straight up kill. Now though, I am really wanting I have 4 Fire Elementals left and 14 cards. 1 in 3 chance of getting spell damage totem, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. We're gonna draw a card first, see what we get. Okay, so we know we have that for next turn. We're certainly... I should have played the Questing Adventurer first. My expectation is that he will trade the Shield Master for the 2/3, which means I will Fire Elemental his 3/5, which would be a 3/2 at that point, or 3/3 at that point, and kill it. If he doesn't trade, and guess he goes for the face, I will still hit it for 3, and then use the Gnomish Inventor to finish it off.
What to do?
Okay, that was probably the best one for him to kill, for me. If he had killed the Farseer, that would have been much worse for me. So he thinks he's making a good play there, and he probably is by doing that. Unless he's got a... Okay. I wonder if he has a Frostbolt in his hand now. I'm kind of suspicious of that. So we're going to play... Unfortunately for this Totem's going to heal it, so he made a small mistake there. I'm going to play this, and blast that, hit him for 2. So now we have a situation where these 2 minions can combine to kill the Kodo. And if I play a couple more cards, then I may be able to kill it outright with the Questing Adventurer. My guess is he's going to hit the Questing Adventurer with the Kodo for sure, if he doesn't have a Flame Strike or something. Which of course, he has a Flame Strike. When you're up to 9 wins, you kind of expect that you're going to get at least 2 Flame Strikes in your opponent's deck. Now we just play everything we have. And we hope he doesn't have a Pyroblast, because if he does, the taunt up here is the only thing that would save us, which is not a taunt. And I don't know, let's go this way. So if he has a Pyroblast, we're dead. If he doesn't, we're okay. Maybe. My expectation is he has a Pyroblast. Or at least a Fireball, which would still put me in a pretty bad position. Okay, then he doesn't have a Pyroblast. Okay, so let's get another Fire Elemental. We have 4 left in the deck, and we have 11 cards to draw from, so we have, I don't know, maybe a 40% chance of drawing one out. 3 damage to the hero? No. Okay, that's bad. Fire Elemental, Earth Shock. That does nothing. Well, maybe. Let's get a spell damage. Okay. We will do this. Desperate times. So now if we get a Fire Elemental, we can take out the 2/3, but we're still going to be at best 6 life, which is Fireball range, unfortunately.
Join or die.
And
Or both.
yeah. He's playing it very safe by taking out that spell damage, but it's the smart way to play. Okay, we seriously have 4 Fire Elementals left, and there's 9 cards left. We have about a 50% chance of pulling one out. We are dead unless we get a Taunt Totem, and even then we're probably dead. Actually, yeah, we're for sure dead. Player matches, which tend to be against very terrible opponents with bad decks, which is always nice because you can pretty much steamroll through with 5 Fire Elementals even. But for now, that was everything, so let's go through, see what rewards we get, open up our pack, and we will go from there. Okay. 1 pack, 150, gold and common, and a rare regular. So I got my money back, which we get.
Gold. Rare.
Gold and rare.
Rare.
Rare. That's not too bad. A Ravenhold Assassin, golden. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. And apparently his daggers are hallucinations. That's pretty cool. Alright, see you next time.